Minnesota Go four-wheelers. We're going to see monster truck racing, mud running, and street monsters.
We've got a ton of action coming, and to get to it, let's go down to the third member of our prime team, Mike Mitchell.
Thanks, guys. Throughout the day, we'll be down here trackside talking with all the drivers and covering all the exciting action. And we'll go back in the pits and get the inside story as to what's going on during this 26th annual Firestone Total Off-Road Rally.
The Chevrolet Motorsports Hour is brought to you by Chevrolet. One car company has won more races in the last 30 years than anyone else. Genuine Chevrolet. By Firestone Tires. Firestone, America's tires since 1900. By Trailmaster Suspension, specializing in matched systems, unmatched technology. And by Bigfoot 4x4. When in St. Louis, visit the home of the original monster truck, Bigfoot.
Only monster truck assembly plant. Walk around and under the world's tallest, widest, and heaviest pickup. Discover the world's largest assortment of monster truck memorabilia and collectibles. See it all at Bigfoot 4x4, St. Louis, Missouri. Best of all, everyone gets in free.
Polish a whole car in about half the time with new Turtle Wax Instant Foam and Shine, the first foaming car polish. It's so much easier. With ordinary polish, you have to wipe, wait, and rub. With new Instant Foam and Shine, you just foam and shine. A mirror-like shine with long-lasting Turtle Wax protection. It's never been easier or faster. So why wait? Polish your car in about half the time with new Turtle Wax Instant Foam and Shine.
Welcome back to the 26th annual Firestone Total Off-Road Rally here in Dresser, Wisconsin. It is a beautiful day for racing, partly sunny, 82 degrees, a cool breeze. Everybody's excited about driving, although the weatherman says we do have a slight chance for rain. Although right now, things look great.
And it looks great for monster truck action to get us underway. The qualifying round up first with Mark Hall, an executioner out of Champaign, Illinois, Oldsmobile engine. Jim Kramer, a bit unusual.
Yes, it is, but Oldsmobile has designed a very good head that really lends itself to high compression, and Mark Hall is trying to take advantage of that today.
Doesn't look like he was really standing on it. Now they real strong time at 6.43.
You know, he's first qualifier. He's kind of feeling out the track, too. I think there's a lot of potential left.
One of the top guns is the Power Wheels Bigfoot. You'll see him now. Driver Dan Runty. Team Bigfoot with a departure from blue, the Power Wheels toy colors.
We'll see just how hot this truck is. Now, Dan's running the other lane, so he's kind of doing the same thing, feeling out the track. The only thing is, he's going for it.
Beautiful, smooth run.
Yeah, a time of 5:68. Really good time. Notice the compression of the tires in the landing.
There you see it on the Trailmaster timing camera. To back up Jim's statement of the 568, we'll now go to Don Van Loo, Magnum Force out of Jefferson City, Missouri.
Now, Van Loo, he's the truck puller that made the switch to monster trucks. He brought with him a Keith Black Hemi and put it in his Chevrolet pickup. It makes a nice pair. But Donnie, I think he's having a few problems. He just can't get it going today.
6.63 is not going to get him near the top of the bracket in this qualification round as we look at the home. This is Guy Wood out of Muskego, Wisconsin.
Now, Guy's a veteran of the monster truck races. He's been around for about 5 years. Now, watch this truck. If it's like in the past, it's really fluid. Keeps the tires down on the track, accelerates between the cars, up and over. Very smooth.
Giving up a lot of cubic inches, about 60 to the Bigfoots and snake bites, but not a bad run right there. Very respectable at the Trailmaster timing camera, showing a 6.22. Coming to the line now from Griffith, Indiana, Brian Welch in moving violations.
Now, Brian's got an advantage here. He saw the first run in this lane, so he knows what to expect out of the track. Gets off the line, hooks up, down. Gets a little cricket, though.
Still a respectable run. You're going to get a look at it on the Trailmaster timing camera.
You know, this camera kind of tells us how the run is by where you pick up the guy landing. If he lands on the finish line, we know he's got more speed to make that kind of a jump.
We'll have more monster truck qualifying in just a bit, but right now we want to look at mud racing, the cut tire modified class. Chris Bergeron in Pure Insanity lines up against Jeff Lemmer in Addicted to Mud.
Pure Insanity, off the line, it's his race all the way through.
Bergeron with an excellent time at 3.103.
It's not a bad time for these cars because they're naturally aspirated, no blowers. They can only run carburetors or injected motors only.
Turns out that's only 3/10 off the national record. Now we're going to look at Todd Marion, Expect No Mercy, and Tim Finch in Patriot.
Patriot's been a good contender this year. Let's see how he lines up.
Obviously a big gap here, but remember, they're not running against each other. They're actually running against the clock to see who can be the fastest on what looks to be a real quick track. Now, next up, we've got Mike Christensen, the Total Addiction Chevrolet. Mike Thomas in Murphy's Law, a Power Pro chassis. And, Jim, this looks like quite a mismatch.
It is. You know, this Power Pro chassis, it really works. Let's see if it can handle this 600 cubic inches.
Nitrous oxide also on the Thomas vehicle, while Christensen runs a small block Chevy. Oh, look at this run.
Out of the gate, look at it. Rooster tail all the way through there. Beautiful run by Mike Thomas.
Outstanding. Here come the times in. How about this? It might be. It could be. You're going to see it come up. It is a new national record of 2.812. Mike Thomas and Murphy's Law shatters the old mark by almost 0.3 of a second.
I think these drivers come to Wisconsin expecting to do that. This track is fast.
Wow, it's going to be a tough act to follow for Jeff Lewis and the Witch and Eric Fulcher and Cut Loose.
Fulcher looks like he's out the gate way ahead.
Not a bad run, though, by Lewis. It is a disqualification on the red lighting. It's going to put Lewis in the top 5, but again, Fulcher in Cut Loose called for red lighting, leaving too soon at the starting line.
I think he saw a good race coming up and took full advantage of the light. The only thing is he took too much advantage.
We'll conclude the cut tire modified class, the Bow Tie Magic Chevy of Dan Petras and Patrick Clare's Racing Engine Pontiac.
The Racing Engine's got a very different look to it, and it really seems to run.
I'll tell you, something like go on Bow Tie Magic, he never got out of there. Lahr completes a good run with a time of 3.435. But the time that's got everybody talking is the one you're looking at. Murphy's Law, 2.812, a new national record for Mike Thomas. Pure Insanity, Addicted to Mud, Racing Engine, and the Witch round the Class A.
Many people take everyday items for granted. Take the matchbook, for example. This popular item was invented in 1892 by Joshua Pusey of Pennsylvania. Many products are created or improved by the innovations of individuals. Ideas and inventions come from people in all walks of life. We believe these individuals, like you, are a great source of creativity. If you have an idea, invention, or new product you'd like to submit to industry, Invention Submission Corporation has a free inventor's kit to help you get started. The kit contains a form for recording and dating your invention, an information brochure, and other materials of interest to inventors. Invention Submission Corporation is one of America's largest invention service companies. We can show you how your invention can be packaged and submitted to industry. So call ISC now for your free inventor's kit.
For your free inventor's kit, call 1-800-522-5333. The call is free, and so is the information.
The world's finest teams roll across the nation, competing in different cities, hoping to take it to Reno for the Grand Championship. The ABC World Team Bowling Challenge, the Grand Championship Final, this month on Prime.
Welcome back to Dresser, Wisconsin, and the 26th annual Firestone Total Off-Road Rally. We return to monster truck qualifying with Snakebite, driven by Colt Cobra of Cobra Creek, Colorado.
Huge 572-inch SVO high-compression engine. Let's see if we can make it work for him.
Got that forward power. Here he goes.
He's up and over, down, drives with the Bible, drives it back. Let's check this Trailmaster timing camera.
Smooth, clean, and fast on that run, Jim. Here it comes.
576. That puts him number 2 so far behind Power Wheels Bigfoot with a 568.
Coming to the line now is a guy who would like nothing better than to knock the snake down a notch. Andy Brass and Bigfoot.
A lot of things to say about this man. I tell you, 3-time world champion, a lot of experience, a lot of horsepower. He's off the line, way too much air for Andy Brass, so misses the second set of cars.
That's going to be a disqualification. He did not get those front 2 wheels up on the second set of cars, and that's going to put Bigfoot all the way down at the bottom of the bracket.
He wanted that run really bad. He wanted to be fast qualifier.
Monster Patrol will come out now. It's Paul Schaefer's Monster Patrol.
Schaefer's off. Beautiful run, down. This is going to be fast.
Picture perfect run for Paul Schaefer's Monster Patrol. Let's watch the Trailmaster timing camera. 5.66. That's going to put Monster Patrol in the number 1 spot, nudging out that Power Wheels Bigfoot.
Power Wheels Bigfoot came in at 568.
Nitemare is up next. Bobby Z, the Nitemare GMC.
You know, the truck's been around a while, but the driver's fairly new in this time of competition.
Good start coming off the line, but look out. Veers to the side, heading up the second set. Almost looked, with a little less horsepower, like the same run of Andy Brass.
This must be something wrong with that lane over there. There's two drivers there had trouble.
Another disqualification. Our final qualifier comes up now. The Kodiak Chevrolet. This is Mark Bendler out of Eagle, Wisconsin.
It's probably Mark Bendler's fifth truck as far as progressiveness in the sport. He's really come a long way. Mark's down. Good run so far. Up and over, but just doesn't seem to have the speed.
Well, certainly nice and steady. The time is going to put him in the middle of the pack. Well, our pairings are ready for the first round. It'll be Monster Patrol, the fast qualifier, taking on Kodiak. Moving Violations draws Nitemare. Snakebite will race Magnum Force. The Hulk against Bigfoot. And Power Wheels Bigfoot will be taking on the Executioner. In the meantime, though, we're going back to the mud pit for the cut tire open class. Now, these are supercharged engines. And coming up first is Mark Green in Mudbuster, taking on Tom Means in Mud Patrol.
Two very fine cars, Look at them all. Rooster tails all the way down. These tires are really working.
What went wrong with Mud Patrol there? He just stopped.
I think he swallowed an engine.
Mudbuster has a strong time, however, 2.752 for Mudbuster.
Next we have Dan Fuchs with Living on the Edge against Fred Wilhite in the Money Pit. This is an old Fiat.
Wilhite, the big block Chevy in that 48 Fiat as he pulls it to the line. And he gets off the line first.
Wilhite's out, he's gone. Definitely hooked up, that Brown. Got that Chevy running.
Good run, 2.806, puts him in second place for now. Our next pair will be Mind Games 2, Dan Brown coming out of Gillespie, Illinois, and Bill Hazelwood, Mud Spider 2 out of Sherman, Texas. Jim Kramer, how about the difference in this class and the class we looked at earlier in the show?
Blowers, a lot more potential for horsepower here. We got a lot more horsepower than naturally aspirated engine.
A couple of old pros at the controls, waiting for the starting light.
Hazelwood leads the line first, and he got to be driver of the year last year because of his reaction times computed all year.
Brown in the middle of the course went over and hit a hay bale, so he is DQ'd for going out of bounds. He had a good strong run going. That's too bad. 2.771 for Hazelwood will put him into second. Now, Bill Oldenwald is up in Lightfoot against Eric Fulcher and Cut Loose.
Now, Fulcher red-lighted last time. He's going to have to really watch himself on the line against Lightfoot. Lightfoot lost his drive shaft and he locked his front wheels up.
Oh, my, he goes over on his roof. Jim, here comes the replay. Let's see if we can figure out what happened.
He's on the line. The chassis is really hooking up, and notice the drive shaft drops right here. That spells trouble. It locks up his front tires, but he's still on the gas. Comes over into the monster truck lane, hits the cars, loops over the top. This is a very dangerous situation.
The roll cage, all that's there to protect him at that point. The safety crews are looking at him, and boy, there's the good news, is he is getting out without having to be pulled out, getting out under his own power, and looks like maybe he's basically okay. We'll be right back.
Corvette back by Eureka for home or auto. 10 tools included. Power for big jobs, tight spots, extra long cord. Corvette back by Eureka.
New Brill Cream Power Gel for long-lasting control.
Brill Cream, a little dabble do ya.
From J.B. Williams.
Mother's California Gold, the finest cleaners, polishes, and finish restorers. Carnauba Wax protects and shines. Easy to apply, looks great.
California Gold, there's no shine like Mother's.
Crime plays the world. Children are the largest group of Americans living below the poverty line. They have to reach higher for what others take for granted. Health care, balanced meals, encouragement to learn. But with help early on, children in your community can gain the skills to get out from below the poverty line. It takes programs like Success by 6 and people like you to help them take the first step. Call to learn more. Change the world of a child, and you change the world.
Welcome back to Trollhagen Ski Area in the 26th Annual Firestone Total Off-Road Rally. I'm Scott Douglass with Jim Kramer and Mike Mitchell, and now we're ready for an event whose participants include some members of the host club of this four-wheel extravaganza, the Minnesota Go Four-Wheelers. We're talking about the Street Monsters.
These guys know how to have fun, but I wouldn't try this with my family pickup unless you had a box full of tools. You definitely knew how to use them.
Street legal. They are competing over a two-lane obstacle course, and here we go with Darnell Kutzer, Nellie's Heap, Doug Steichen driving Airtime.
This is a real choppy course. Rhythm is going to be all important.
Airtime pulling this one out easy at this point. About a 4-second difference as they cross that finish line. Now remember, we want to point out that they will run later in the program. Each truck runs twice per time. The best time determines the winner, so one of the keys will be to survive the first round so you can even run in the second round.
I think you're going to see a few drivers feel out this track. Now we saw 2 trucks already compete. They've got a feeling for what's going to happen.
Again, it's Charlie Dunn, the 48 Chili's, Dwayne Smith with the Love from Hell lining up.
Long wheelbase, short wheelbase. Let's see what happens here. What's going to be best for this course? The Jeep's way out front. Look at him bounce. He tried to take the triple dump and didn't make it. The Love's coming back.
We're seeing why he's got the nickname Crazy Charlie, Jim.
Yeah, but he missed the last hill.
Woo! Let's call that a suitably crazy ride for Crazy Charlie. I'll tell you, it was a good close race, though.
Charlie Dunn, that was a wild ride out there. What's that track like?
Yeah, it's rough. Bad moguls in there. Car gets a lot of airtime. It's a lot of fun, though.
There you have it. It's a wild ride, and Charlie's giving it to us.
Thanks, Mike Mitchell. Darren Gillette, Sylvester, and Gary Clover will line up now.
Look like 2 very competitive trucks. Once again, you know, long wheelbase, short wheelbase.
Any advantage to either one on an obstacle course like this?
Well, I'm trying to figure this out. I would think the long wheelbase, but it sure doesn't seem to help him in the moguls right there.
Out.
But he's having trouble too. Off the track, does come back and gets over the hump, gets a clean time.
I don't guess they get many smooth rides on the highway out of these things after a run over this obstacle course.
They didn't come out here for smooth rides. They come out here to have fun and see what their old trucks can do.
Sylvester not bad there at 13.376. Our next pair pulling up is Mike Qualley in Wannabe, and Robert Schmidt will draw the assignment of going up against him.
S10 looks perfectly street stock.
Doesn't look like a bad family truck right there, you know?
It doesn't. He's a little behind. Jeep's way out front. Jeep looks a little stiff, though. You notice it's not taking the jumps very well. The S10 seems to be bulldozing its way to the finish line.
Indeed. Schmidt with a strong comeback.
Got some air time with that S10. We'll call it the Super 10.
Hey, looky there, 12.792 as Robert Schmidt takes the overall lead. Now here's Howard Weber in the appropriately named Tired Iron 2 and Joe Gaudette in Flat Broke.
Blazer against Blazer, Chevy matchup. No fear. Let's see just how fearful he is of this track.
Ready to go on this tough obstacle course in Presser.
Gaudette's out the gate, way ahead. Can he keep up the pace? Definitely got airtime with that first jump. Look at him, tries to take the triple mogul, hits the last one, pitches him up on his nose, gets it back down, flies over the finish line.
We talk about these being street vehicles. I don't think you'd want to do that one to the family truck.
It's got to be fast time so far.
Sam Good, Golden Eagle, Kathleen McNamara out in Noise. Let's see what the woman can do with the guys here.
The Noise is a clean-looking piece, and so is the Jeep. The Noise almost resembles an off-road truck. Let's see how it handles. Noise way behind right now. Jeep seems to make a good run up and over the humps, but the Noise coming back.
Heading for the finish, a good run.
McNamara took that last jump on her side. Oh, wait a minute. Here we're supposed to cut the light, not run over it.
Just a little nudge to the timing light from the Golden Eagle. Kathleen McNamara goes 11.718. That vaults her into second place. Flat Broke's the leader. Then Robert Schmidt, Wannabe, and Sylvester round out the top 5. Let's go back down now to Mike Mitchell.
We're down here with Rich Ron, who is the chairman of this 26th Annual Firestone Total Off-Road Rally and a member of the Minnesota Go Four-Wheelers. This is an incredible undertaking for a four-wheel drive club to put together. How did you do this?
Well, we've got over 300 club members that have volunteered their Memorial Weekend to come out here and help it on this event.
You've got some sponsors who are helping you out here also. They would be?
Champion Auto Stores and the Crown Service Centers.
Everybody gets together and tries to make this event a great one, but this started a long time ago, 26 years. What's the history of this event?
Well, our club is basically a trail riding club, and we started with an invitational trail ride, and it grew into this type of event.
You guys have put together a fantastic event here. Congratulations to the Minnesota Go Four-Wheelers. And let's go back up to you, Jim, Scott.
All right, Mike, you guys better get out of the way because the monster trucks are coming down the course now. It's round one action. We're going to go side-by-side racing. We'll start it out with the fast qualifier, Paul Schaefer in Monster Patrol against Mark Bendler and Kodiak.
Bendler's definitely got his work cut out for him, Chevy against Chevy. But, you know, Bendler's an old pro. He won't give up. Out of the hole about the same time, but look at this horsepower coming on.
Put it in the win column for Paul Schaefer and the Monster Patrol Chevrolet.
You know, it wasn't an easy run for Schaefer either, coming out of the hole, but got a little crooked, but managed to drive it back and save it.
Look at this awesome machine. It's the Snake Bite and Colt Cobra against Magnum Force and Don Van Loo.
You know, it's Ford against Chrysler in the motor department here. Let's see what happens. Cobра's out of the hole with it. He's got a purpose. He wants to win this race. Look at him go.
The Snake Model Ford gets the job done. The win to Colt Cobra Snake Bite. Now, Andy Brass, the big blue Ford known as Bigfoot, going up against Guy Wood in the Hulk.
I know Andy Brass is thinking about his qualifying run. He's in the same lane. I know he doesn't want to be there, but he doesn't have a choice because he did get disqualified. He's over the first set of cars. Missed the second set of cars. Definitely the lane gave him trouble again.
Same thing, a disqualification for Andy Brass as he comes over. You'll see it here. We're going to go down and get the story from Mike Mitchell in the pits.
Andy Brass, tough day for you. It looked like you were coming off that first jump really hard, and you couldn't seem to get it back between the second one.
That's right. We've been watching the left lane all day today, you know, and everybody in the first couple rounds, even in qualifying, they was coming off the set and it was hooking to the left, and we did the same thing. And it's just something we can't control, really. You know, we're trying to backpedal just a little bit coming off the cars, but, you know, the guys are all running in some good times, so you got to stay with the throttle to keep with the guy. And we just tried to backpedal. We didn't backpedal enough, and we just couldn't get straight between the cars again and DQ'd when we hit the second set.
Some days it just doesn't work. Back to you, Jim, Scott.
Obviously, one disappointed Andy Brass. Here's Mark Hall, the Executioner Chevrolet. He'll be up against the other half of the Bigfoot team, Dan Runty and the Power Wheels Bigfoot.
Dan, with the second fastest time, has lane choice here. He chose the right lane. Dan's up and over and down and running off to the races.
No concerns there, obviously, about the earlier problems of teammate Andy Brass. The Power Wheels Bigfoot with a nice straight run at 5.79 on the Trailmaster timing camera.
Brian Welch, moving violation. Keith Blackham against the Chevrolet-powered Nitemare. And Bobby Z. Bobby Z also has trouble in qualifying. You have to notice he's also in the left lane. See if he can get it right this time. Both cut a good ride. Anybody's races this time, but violations coming on fast. He definitely took the lead right at the last second.
Nitemare, though, stays out of trouble, and it turns out he's the fast loser. We'll see him back in the next round. The Trailmaster timing camera shows you the winning run. Our pairings will show Nitemare back against Monster Patrol. Moving violations against Snakebite. Hulk will take on Power Wheels Bigfoot when we come back.
At the Indy 500 on Memorial Day weekend, 1995, the legend returns. Firestone.
You hang a picture, you change its position, and soon your wall looks like a dartboard. Introducing the Does It Handy Hanger. Nothing does it like does it. Just place a handy disc on the applicator and watch the special adhesive heat up. Press it on the wall, and that's it. Use the Does It Handy Hanger on painted walls, on wood paneling, on wallpaper. It safely holds up to 10 pounds and more, yet it can be removed as easily as it attaches without leaving any mark at all. Does it on tile. It even does it on glass. And look, your Does It Handy Hanger also comes with these utility hooks. Use them in the kitchen, the bathroom, even in your tool shed. You get everything for $29.95. Order your Does It Handy Hanger now.
Use your credit card and call toll-free 1-800-982-5959 or send $29.95 plus $5.95 shipping to Does It Handy Hanger, P.O. Box 667, Department 270, Georgetown, Connecticut 06829.
We're back at the Trollhagen Ski Area in Dresser, Wisconsin with mud racing and the cut tire open class. Mark Green and Mudbuster carry the time to beat at 2.752 seconds on this 200-foot track. Here's a guy who could do it, national record holder Ron Penson-Tater, paired with Scott Starsky and Paperboy Express.
Tater's out first. Can he keep up the pace and go for the record?
Just 1/1000th of a second off the lead time that Mark Green and Mudbuster laid down. Very fast run. Well, now we're going to get a look at stress relief. This is Craig Jones out of Chesterton, Indiana, taking on Paula Harbuck out of Oklahoma in Flirting with Disaster. They're pulling to the line, and they're getting ready to go racing. But a little bit earlier, Jim Kramer got a chance to stop by and talk with one of the most interesting personalities in the mud racing sport, Paula Harbuck.
I'm here with Paula Harbuck, and she is the queen of mud in a predominantly male sport here. Paula, how does it feel to be the fastest woman in the sport?
Well, it's always a challenge because you've always got to go faster. The crowd likes to see a woman participate, but if you don't try to excel at what you're doing, if you don't act like you know what you're doing, it's kind of a joke to them. But if you can compete, they accept you real easily.
Tell us how this pit is different from the tracks you've been running on.
Well, just from looking at it last night before they really had it dressed good, it's a good wide pit, so you can pick your lane choice pretty good. It's sandier. It's going to have a good consistency to grab a hold of. The depth isn't what we run indoors, which you're going to get some more speed. You got a lot of safety. You got a lot of shutdown down there. So I think you'll see some good times. I think you'll probably see some records set here today.
Well, let's find out. Paula Harbuck, closest to you in Flirting with Disaster. Craig Jones in stress relief.
Paula cuts the light, comes out, beautiful run, gets sideways at the end of the track, but she brings it back.
We're going to get a look from inside the cab, Jim. Take us down with Paula Harbuck here.
Watch the light. Watch how quick she is. The tree goes off, she's blasted down the track, all of a sudden, look right, look left. That's how fast you've got to be able to react here. She's quite a competitor.
And you see what she meant about all that shutdown area and how much safer it is than a lot of indoor places that she said she was running earlier. Here's Chemical Reaction, Mike Behrman, the 27 Chevy Roadster coming up from Holland, Michigan. Tad Rovat out of Wisconsin and Dragonfly.
Two evenly matched cars here looking for a really good run. Chemical Reaction's been really competitive all weekend.
All right, Jim, they're staged and ready to go.
They're up. Dragonfly's definitely off. But the Behrman pulls it right back.
Something absolutely quit on the Dragonfly, and a great time from Behrman. That will put him in the lead.
These two have been at each other all year, though.
Gary Osteen, the Dirty Bird Ford, out now. Jeff Myers will get in the other lane. Another Ford. This one's called the Boss.
You know, the Boss, look at his tires. He doesn't have the aggressive cut on him like the Dirty Bird. Dirty Bird hooks up, is off. He seems to have trouble just at the very last.
It was nice and straight, but it's not going to be good enough to let him crack the top.
His time is definitely down.
Well, let's get another pair out to the starting line. Tom Martin back in the Mud Patrol 1932 Chevy Coupe out of Portage, Indiana. Mike Thomas drove down Georgia in Mad Max. Mad Max, of course, Mike Thomas in another vehicle set a national record in an earlier class. And he beats Mud Patrol here.
Amazing upset. You know, Tom Martin's got every record there is to be held.
Didn't get it done this time, though. Mad Max at 2.762 will finish fourth. Let's look at the rundown. It's Chemical Reaction winning it, then Mudbuster, Tater, Mad Max, and the Mud Spider 2. Monster trucks are coming up.
We've won more races in the history of Trans Am. We've won more races in the history of NASCAR. Fact is, we've won more races over the last 30 years than any other automotive company. Have a nice day.
When traveling near St. Louis, be sure to visit the home of Bigfoot, the original monster truck. See the very first Bigfoot, the big blue monster that started it all. Check out the world's only monster truck assembly plant. Walk around and under the world's tallest, widest, and heaviest pickup. Discover the world's largest assortment of monster truck memorabilia and collectibles. See it all at Bigfoot 4x4, St. Louis, Missouri. Best of all, everyone gets in free.
Mother's California Gold, the finest cleaners, polishes, and finish restorers. Carnauba wax protects and shines. Easy to apply, looks great.
California Gold, there's no shine like Mother's.
I'm Jack Nicklaus, and I've just joined Golf Magazine as special contributor. You can join Golf Magazine too.
Call now for Golf Magazine, and you'll also get absolutely free Jack's video playing the percentages, an insider's guide to improving your game. Jack, it's great to have you on the Golf Magazine team. Where should we look for you in upcoming issues?
Where else? The golf course.
Welcome back to the Firestone 26th Annual Total Off-Road Rally. We're ready for round 2 of the monster truck, and here we go.
Paul Schaefer's got lane choice, picks that right lane, has a very successful run, puts Bobby Z over in the left, where Bobby Z had trouble the first round.
Great hole shot by the Monster Patrol.
Schaefer seems to be mowing down this list of trucks he has to run.
Boy, he does it right there. He absolutely left Nitemare standing at the starting gate, and Monster Patrol defeats Nitemare. Now, here comes Snakebite. Holt Cobra has looked strong all day. He takes on the Moving Violation Chevrolet and Brian Welch.
Snake's really got his work cut out for him here. Welch has been turning on some fantastic runs. Snake is out first, up and over, but look at this. Welch had trouble. He lost his speed between the cars.
Went out of bounds, and look how far out of bounds Moving Violations went.
Yeah, he lost his speed. He lost his direction. Took out the timing lights.
He's disqualified on this run. We're going to look at the replay. Jim, what happened?
Well, he's up and over his first set of cars, but the truck starts to do a little dance right here. Same thing happened to Andy Brass earlier. He's off. He's crooked. Hits the timing lights. We need to just go down to Mike and see what did happen.
Brian Welch, people have been having problems with that left lane all day. What happened on your run?
Well, racing the Colt Cobra and Snakebite, you got to go hammer down. There's no backpedaling on that track. That lane's the bad lane. Of course, you're seeing that all day long. We got a little out of control down there in the lane, but, we stayed hammered down because the ignition interrupter system's on the truck. I knew someone was going to shut me down if I got out of control, and they did, and it worked out great.
Jim Scott, back to you.
That's the story from Brian Welch. Here's our next pair. Dan Runte, St. Louis, Missouri, Power Wheels Bigfoot, and Guy Wood, Muskego, Wisconsin, in the Hull.
Earlier today, Mike Mitchell got to see a totally different aspect of the Power Wheels Bigfoot.
There's more to monster truck racing than the high-flying, exciting action we see out on the track. There's a business side to this sport, with a lot of it being toys. And one of the most popular toys is the Bigfoot Power Wheels battery-powered ride-on truck, which allows all those young racing fans to pretend they're a real monster truck driver.
Thanks, Mike. Let's go racing.
Ronnie cuts the light and the Hulk. Hulk keeps up the pressure. Ronnie's over the first set of car, way too much air, but look at this time.
Outstanding run despite the little bit of extra air. Here comes the Trailmaster timing camera.
On the finish line, 5.67. Great time for Dan Runde.
Fastest time of the round. Hulk will come back as the fast loser. So here's our semifinal pairings. Monster Patrol against Snakebite, and the Hulk will take on Power Wheels Bigfoot. Now we're going to head back to the Street Monsters. This is round number 2 of our Street Monster competition. Mike Qualley in Wannabe will line up against Robert Schmidt.
I think Schmidt, he's out for a second win, but the Wannabe, he's out for revenge. Let's see what happens here in this race.
Again, best time is what counts. They're shooting at the 10.019 set by Joe Gunnett and Platt Broach.
They seem to be dead even. Oh, did you hear the front end of that S10?
Nearing the finish line, I don't think either of those runs will challenge for the top spot.
The S10 pulled out to run again. The team seemed to have a little bit of trouble in that left lane. Notice they did switch lanes for the second run.
Interesting to note, both the drivers improved their times from the first run, so I guess you learn a little on a course like this as you run over.
Well, I think Gary Clover's going to learn a lot. He had a lot of trouble in the moguls of this long wheelbase truck. Let's see if his timing is any different to handle this.
Yeah, he was the slowest in the first round. Darren Gillette was the 4th fastest.
Darren Gillette's way out front. Look at him take these moguls. Can he do the triple? Hits the second on the triple, bounces over the third mogul, up and over the finish line. Definitely got the win.
A real bonsai run's going to put him in second the truck as Clover is just now getting across the finish line. The time will be the second best, 11.153. Now we want to take a look at the Trollhagen ski area the way people usually see it.
We're here with Jim Rochford. Jim's family is the owner of the Trollhagen ski area, which includes the area where the 26th annual Firestone Total Off-Road Rally is being done. Jim, that's kind of a unique combination, off-road rally and ski area. How'd that come to be?
Well, we've been doing it for a long time here, and it's just something that's grown and grown. We've done it for many years here, and we're not too busy in the summertime, being as if you can see, all the snow is gone. So we had some extra time, and the four-wheel drive club, Minnesota Go Four Wheelers, approached us 20 years ago, and it's worked out real well. We have a great relationship with the four-wheel drive club, and worked with a lot of their members, and it's been great.
The Trollhagen ski area, it's a beautiful place to come any time of the year here in Dresser, Wisconsin.
We'll be right back with more Monsters and Mud Racing.
You don't have to be 19 to have a body like this. You don't have to work out 8 hours a day. You don't have to be narcissistic or shallow. In fact, all you really need is $39 a month. The SoloFlex Muscle Machine. What are you waiting for?
You don't have to be a model to have a body like this, or work out 8 hours a day, or have an obsessive-compulsive personality, or never eat anything but rice cakes and celery. All you really need is just $39 a month. The SoloFlex Muscle Machine. What are you waiting for?
Prime Racing goes west. NASCAR's Rising Stars challenge the tracks as top speeds push 100.
Oh, we got one loose up in turn number 4.
It's the NASCAR Winston West from Portland, Oregon, Monday on Prime.
Welcome back to Dresser, Wisconsin, to the 26th annual Firestone Total Off-Road Rally. We're ready for the shootout in the Street Monster class.
And they'll be shooting out for the top spot. Everybody gets another crack to try and better their time for the first time around. Dwayne Smith, the Love from Hell, and Charlie Dunn, who had a wild ride in the 48 Chili's the first time we looked at him.
There they go. Dwayne has to make a good time here. He ran out of bounds. Charlie's bouncing along like a basketball. Check out the mogul. Dwayne's keeping up the pace, so he's much more smooth.
Well, Dwayne going out of bounds the first time. This is going to get him a decent time. The 48 Chili's improved slightly, but neither of those times is good enough for the top 5. Let's get to our next pair. Darnell Kutzer brings out Nellie's Heat, and it'll be Doug Steichen and Airtime pulling to the line.
Airtime had a real good pass the first time. Let's see if we can back it up here against Darnell's Jeep.
Again, it's not a combined time, but it's the best run of the two that they can take.
Airtime's way out in front. It looks like he's only got 2-wheel drive. Now, the rules say you don't have to use 4-wheel drive. Maybe it's going to work out to be to his advantage.
Airtime trying to complete the run now. Again, that did not look like, as we'll check the time, one that is going to scare anybody at the top of the heap right now. Indeed, it's not. Airtime at 14 and change.
And here comes Tired Iron. You know, he had a real bad run the first time, ran out of bounds, but look at the character of this truck. He's got a little bit of dent in the front, you know, and it doesn't look that good. Must have a girlfriend named Vicky, though. Let's see how he stacks up this round.
And your first round leader, Joe Gaudette with Flat Broke, was under 11 seconds first time. Let's see if he can take that down a notch.
This was a good race. Gaudette put him away the first time. Let's see if he can do it again. Gaudette's over first, but look at this. He's coming back. The old Blazer's honking on. Over the mogul. Gaudette's is coming back with a passion. Who wants this race? And he's got it.
Tired Iron just got tired, and Flat Broke went on to the victory in that run. Now we'll check the times. As you can see, Tired Iron, I believe we'll stick a fork in Tired Iron. It's done today, a DNF. 12.318 flat broke much slower than the first time around, but that first round time still holding up. There it is. Flat broke your winner at 10.019. Darren Gillette Sylvester came up to second. Kathleen McNamara's Noid holds on for third, with Robert Schmidt and Wannabe completing the top 5. Now it's on to the big dogs of mud racing, the paddle tire open class. Our first pair, Fred Wilhite in the Money Pit 1948 Fiat, and Dan Fuchs in Living on the Edge.
Scott, this is the paddle tire. This one gets the maximum traction in this kind of sand. Watching these guys blast on the track, how much sand is thrown behind them. Look at Wilhite way out front in that Fiat.
Really shows as they come across the line. Wilhite's a full half-second faster on these tires than when we saw him earlier in the cut tire class, and he is the man setting the mark to aim at as Tom Martin brings the Mud Patrol Chevy to the line. Here is another top competitor with Keith Black Power. We'll see how it works for Mud Patrol. Bowtie Magic with Dan Petrus will also be at the line. Earlier, Jim Kramer got a chance to talk with a Mud legend, Tom Martin.
Scott, I'm talking to Tom Martin, and needless to say, I think everybody in the mud industry knows that Tom has won every title there is to win. He's been racing for years, and Tom, I think you've more than shown all the rest of the drivers in this sport that you can beat them at their game. But what makes you keep going?
Well, it's just the desire to win is what keeps me going, and surrounding yourself with a good team is what makes you a winner. And you know that. You get good people behind you, good engine builders, good transmission builders, and a good crew, and you can't lose, and that's the way I do it.
I do feel with you on that crew point, but what about this car? You know, how many cars have you built?
Well, I started in 1981 with a Volkswagen I drove to high school. And since then, we built 10 cars, and this is our latest one for the long 200-foot outdoor tracks, and it's been a really good one for us.
Well, this doesn't look like a Volkswagen with paddle tires, so I'm really expecting some really good times. What kind of time do you expect to turn out here?
Well, I'm hoping to get it in the mid-2s this weekend, and a mid-2 run will put you in the top 5 for sure.
I notice a lot of rock chips here, and Dresser is known for its rocky course. You take any extra precautions on that note?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we put brand new fenders on the car for this race. You can see them up there. They're aluminum and protect me a little bit and keep these rocks away from us.
Well, there's a man that uses his head and protects it too, Scott. Back to you.
Okay, Jim, they await the light as we're ready to go. Martin gets off the line very quickly.
Everything looks good. You know, looks like a great run, but it just doesn't seem to have the speed. Something seems to be plaguing Tom Martin's efforts.
Well, you're right. 2.74 is where it comes in at. Here's Ron Pence up next in Tater and Tad Rovat in Dragonfly.
Two finely matched machines. You know, Pence comes out of the hole really good, but Dragonfly is way ahead of him. I think Pence actually lost time in this run. I think Dragonfly picked up from his previous run.
Indeed, Dragonfly actually cut about 1.5 seconds off of the time that he had in the cut tire class. Dale Treachel coming out now in Holland. Brian Shack and Trucks and Toys, our next two competitors.
That Trucks and Toys is really a fine-looking machine. And watch these guys off the line. Watch this wheel speed when we stage up. They're coming. Holland almost looked a little bit slower, but picked it up right away to win this race.
Nonetheless, the times didn't look that great, and indeed, 3.061 for Holland, 3.226 for Trucks and Toys will not get them to the top of the class today. Eric Fulcher brings Cut Loose to the starting line now, and it's Mark Green in the Mudbuster.
You know, folks couldn't have picked a tougher guy to run than this guy. He was second in the cut tire class. And it shows, you know, Fulcher as a competitor, he really hung in there and tried, but he just couldn't make the time for the Mudbuster.
Look at that time, 2.683. It moves Green past Dragonfly and into second place. Now, Neil Smith in that Radical American Thunder 2 will head to the line and lay his shot down at the same time as Gary Osteen in the Dirty Bird.
Neil Smith pulls the line, radical new car, Keith Black Hemi rear engine, and it really seems to be working. You know, this car has not been run that much, but it really turns in a fantastic performance.
Fantastic indeed. Jimmy takes the lead. American Thunder 2 at 2.651.
Hey, Scott, I see nothing but good things ahead for American Thunder.
We're coming back with more Mud and Monsters.
I took diet pills. I lost 34 pounds.
6 months later, the weight came back.
That's when I decided to get off the diet roller coaster and get on a Nordic Track.
In fact, Nordic Track is so easy to stick with that after 5 years, 7 out of 10 Nordic Track owners still use their Nordic Track skiers an average of 3 times a week.
It's been more than 2 years. The weight's still off, and I'm still on my Nordic track. You should give Nordic Track a try.
Call now for a free video and brochure. Take weight off and keep it off. Nordic Track introduces the Weight Loss Satisfaction Guarantee. Research shows that Nordic Track's total body workout burns more calories than exercisers that only work your legs. Discover what numerous customers have found. With regular exercise on Nordic Track, you can take weight off and keep it off. And we're so confident you'll lose weight too, we guarantee it. We'll guarantee that you'll lose at least 10 pounds in 60 days or your money back.
As a bonus, order by July 31st and get free electronics. Call now.
From July 27th to August 7th on Florida's Space Coast, nearly 10,000 young athletes between the ages of 6 and 19 will come together the country to run, jump, soar, fly, perform, compete, learn, and celebrate in an unparalleled festival of sport, crowning national champions in 23 different sports. It's the 28th annual AAU Junior Olympic Games, keeping the spirit alive.
Once again, we welcome you back to the Firestone Total Off-Road Rally, the Trollhagen ski area in Dresser, Wisconsin. I'm Scott Douglass with Jim Kramer and Mike Mitchell. We're on to the semifinals of monster truck racing. There you see him, Colt Cobra and Snakebite. He'll be going up against another of the top competitors in the world, the Monster Patrol Chevrolet and Paul Schaefer.
Earlier today, Mike Mitchell had a chance to talk to that wild man behind the mask, Colt Cobra.
There's always one in every crowd, and on the monster truck racing circuit, this is the one, the guy who's always stirring up the controversy, Colt Cobra and Snakebite. Colt, what's the story behind the mask for some folks who may not be familiar with it?
The story behind the mask is I don't want anybody to know who or exactly who I am. I used to work for another organization. That organization happened to be one of the biggest, the best. I figured I was a part of the biggest and best company out there. When they wouldn't give me the chance, I went out on my own to prove that a privateer can come out here and run with the big boys. That's exactly what I'm doing here. I'm running with the big boys. Not only am I going to run with them, I'm going to take them out. This truck right here is going to be #1 before the end of this year for sure.
You took last year off. Ricky Rattler ran your truck for you. What's different with this truck? Is it the same truck? Is it new dimensions? What is it?
Now, I took the entire year off, which was really hard for me to do. Got Ricky to come in there. He did one fine job for us. So we came out this year with a totally new truck. This truck has the rear engine as opposed to the front engine. Major modification in the suspension work. You'll see this truck as opposed to last year. We'll be running faster, flying higher, and going farther than anybody out there today.
He says he's going to do it all. We'll see if Colt Cobra and Snakebite can put that venomous bite on the competition.
As you put it, he can talk the talk. Let's see if he can walk the walk. It's Snakebite and Monster Patrol side by side in the semifinal.
He's going to have to keep it together here. Monster Patrol did nothing but make good runs, but Snakebite's way cuts the light out of the hole a lot faster. Monster Patrol had a chance to catch it, but just couldn't quite do it.
It was the hole shot that wins it for Snakebite. Look at the distance of the Trailmaster timing camera. They are that close, and the 5.73 for Snakebite puts him in the championship matchup. Now, the Power Wheels Bigfoot, Dan Runte, has to go up against the Hulk and Guy Wood, that Chevrolet.
Now, Guy's given up quite a cubic inch advantage here, 518 as opposed to 572. Wood's a very smooth runner, but can keep up the pressure on Runte.
Runte pulls to the line. Would be the solid favorite here, but we've seen a lot of upsets today. Let's see if the Hulk can hang with him.
Good start by both trucks. Runte's over the first set of cars. Great run by Dan Runte. The Hulk just couldn't muster it.
Boy, the Power Wheels Bigfoot flew it out the backside. It goes into the finals against Snakebite. That championship match is coming up.
When traveling near St. Louis, be sure to visit the home of Bigfoot, the original monster truck. See the very first Bigfoot, the big blue monster that started it all. Check out the world's only monster truck assembly plant. Walk around and under the world's tallest, widest, and heaviest pickup. Discover the world's largest assortment of monster truck memorabilia and collectibles. See it all at Bigfoot 4x4, St. Louis, Missouri. Best of all, everyone gets in free.
at the Indy 500 on Memorial Day weekend, 1995. The legend returns. Firestone. This is the desert. And these are Chevy trucks. About the only thing growing out here is our reputation. Chevy trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
You're back at the Firestone Total Off-Road Rally in Dresser, Wisconsin, and it's time for the conclusion of the Mud Racing Paddle Tire Open class. Now coming to the line, Mike Thomas, who's having a wonderful day in Mad Max, to go up against Jeff Myers in the Boss.
You know, Thomas is going to try to put it on Myers here. Thomas has been running really strong all day, rear-engine car, seems to be hooking up better on this track, and that's the way it ends up. Thomas did a great job going down that track, but look, he's losing his front fender. Something flew off.
I'll tell you, what a day he's having. He was 4th in the Cut Tire Open class, set a new national record with Murphy's Law in the Modified Cut Tire class, and lays down an incredible shot here to take the lead with a 2.540. Mad Max is now sitting at number 1. And Thomas will get another shot at it here in a little bit because he'll go get Murphy's Law back out. Right now, though, we're going to look at Dan Brown in Mind Games 2, and Patrick Laird's racing engine now having to try to knock Mad Max from the top of the leaderboard.
It's Pontiac against Chevy over here. Dan Brown's really a good racer, a lot of experience. You see if he can take down this raging Cajun here. Pontiac just can't seem to muster, but Brown is having trouble with his engine.
Yeah, a lot of smoke coming out at the end of the run. Neither run very competitive, 3.144 for Mind Games. And as we told you, Mike Thomas with a quick change has hopped into his other vehicle, Murphy's Law, to go up against hyperactive Mike Yosha in the extremely hyperactive machine.
Mike Thomas thinks he's on a roll today, so he bought his car up this paddle tire class to see what he could do against the blower motors. A little bit of smoke out of his engine, but notice it seems to clean up as soon as he gives it the power, but look at that
Didn't get
run.
it done. Yeah, didn't get it done this time. Murphy's Law at 3.029. So obviously the Murphy's Law magic from earlier today in the cut tire class not carrying over to the paddle class. Here's Chemical Reaction and Steve Behrman, that 27 Chevy Roadster, and the Paperboy Express. Scott Snarsky is back with us.
So Mike Behrman hands his car over to his brother Steve in this class, and going to run against the Paperboy.
You can see him pull right to the line where those electronic eyes will catch the start.
Behrman's off the line way ahead.
Good run for Chemical Reaction. 2.699, though, will not get him to the top of the class. It took a great run to win it today, and Mad Max got it at 2.540. American Thunder holds on for the number 2 spot. Well, we're ready for the Monster Truck Finals. Let's go down to Mike Mitchell.
This is the finals. Colt Cobra against Power Wheels and Bigfoot. Dan, what are you going to do on this one?
I don't know. We've been running the right lane all day. It's been working really well. The left lane's been kind of tough. Colt turned in 1/100th of a second time faster on that last pass, so we're going to have to go over here and run a lane we haven't run all day and beat him, I hope.
Colt, that's what Dan says. He referred to the times. He had a 5.74, you had a 5.73. What lane are you going to pick?
I'm definitely going to stick with that right lane. It's been hooking up. We know Dan's been running hard all day. He's been turning in better times. We got lucky on the last round. I don't know if it was luck or not, but we got him by 100th of a second. It could be 10 seconds. 100th of a second doesn't count. We're going to put him in the left lane, and hopefully we'll be able to grab enough traction in that right lane to put our truck out ahead.
There we have it. That's the settings for the finals, and we'll see how it shakes out. Jim, Scott?
All right, we are set to go. There's the Power Wheels Bigfoot and Dan Runty. In the championship matchup, the opponent is the Masked Man. You can see this truck moving around behind Power Wheels Bigfoot as Snakebite will roll to the line in a moment. Now, Dan Runty has had an outstanding day, Jim Kramer.
Yeah, but you know, he's in that lane. He doesn't want to be there. You got Colt Cobra, a controversial guy with a controversial truck. Can he put his money where his mouth is?
We're about to find out. This is the final. Colt Cobra, Snakebite against Dan Runty and Power Wheels Bigfoot. They're at the line looking for green, and here we go. It's showtime.
Both trucks, great lights, a little bit of air for both trucks. Colt Cobra gets out of the lane a little bit, drives Back, it's too close to call.
Sensational race for the win between Colt Cobra and Snakebite and Dan Runcie in the Power Wheels Bigfoot. Let's check the finish on the Trailmaster timing camera, and indeed, it's Snakebite by a fang. Mike Mitchell's got the winner.
Colt Cobra, the big winner here today. 7/100 of a second separated the winning times, and it was yours.
That's right, it was all mine tonight, but I didn't do it alone. I had some sponsors out there helping me. This track was tricky all weekend. We got the Firestones on the truck. We got them working hard. We had Ford behind us, BDS blowers. They were all coming together. I didn't do it alone. I took it to the winner's circle for them.
Colt Cobra, the big winner today. Jim, Scott, back to you.
Let's look at it one more time, how Snakebite got it done. Jim Kramer, both trucks got out of the hole great.
And over the first set of cars, see both of them pick up air. It looks like exactly identical run, but Colt gets a little bit crooked, but doesn't stop him, keeps his pedal to the metal, gets the win.
Mike Mitchell is caught up with the runner-up.
Tough day out there for you, Dan. You ran great all day, but that last race just seemed to get you 7/100 of a second.
Yeah, we got thrown over there in the left lane. Like I said earlier, you know, that left lane's been tough for everybody this weekend. The truck did an outstanding job, though. It's the fastest time it's been turning in that lane the whole course of the weekend. It was just a tough lane. It was slick in between the cars. It was hard driving. The truck did as well as it could do, and we did as well as we could do. Colt just got us this time.
It was a good race. Jim, Scott, back to you.
An incredible day of action, and what a transformation this beautiful ski area provided. Some great motorsports thrills.
Thanks a lot, Paul and Dean, for a great monster truck track.
Minnesota Go Four-Wheelers put on a great show. The Chevrolet Motorsports Hour is brought to you by Chevrolet. One car won more races over the last 30 years than any other genuine Chevrolet. By Firestone Tires. Firestone, America's tire since 1900. By Trailmaster Suspension, specializing in matched systems, unmatched technology. And by Bigfoot 4x4. When in St. Louis, visit the home of the original monster truck, Bigfoot. For Jim Kramer and Mike Mitchell, I'm Scott Douglass. So long from Dresser, Wisconsin.